Welcome to the demonstration of the MDM Smart Allocation Automation Platform. Now, let's begin with a problem. Imagine you are responsible for implementing multidisciplinary minor programs in your institutions. You have hundreds of students from multiple departments, each with different program preferences, eligibility criteria, and limited program capacities. Traditionally, the process involves multiple Excel sheets, repeated verification, manual allocation, and significant amount of administrative effort. As institutions continue to embrace digital transformation, academic administration also needs smarter and more efficient solutions. To address this challenge, I developed the MDM Smart Automation System, a full-stack web application designed to simplify the workflow of NEP-based multidisciplinary minor program allocation. Rather than replacing existing academic systems, this platform is designed to streamline one of the most time-consuming academic processes through automation, transparency, and conflict-free allocation. In this demonstration, I will show how institutions can import data, manage student allocation, how students can submit their program preferences, and how the system can generate program allocations, view reports, and export the reports using a single centralized platform. So, let's begin. Here, the administrator logs in using administrator credentials. So, this is the admin dashboard. This admin dashboard provides a centralized view of entire academic allocation process. From here, administrators can view how many students are registered, how many are pending for review, how many are approved, how many forms were rejected, and how many correction requests were submitted. In the student list, the administrator can view all students who have submitted their forms. All student details are displayed on the screen. The administrator can review each form. As you can see here, the administrator has requested the student to change the name and update the affected details. The administrator can request corrections using this review form. Similarly, once the correction is completed, the administrator can approve the form. We have already provided an approve button. If the details are valid, the administrator can click the approve button and the form will be approved and considered for the allocation process. This section also shows the complete audit history. Now, this is the allocation process. This is the allocation engine which allocates students to the desired subject based on their preference form and CGPA. This process begins only after all students have submitted their preference forms and the submission deadline has ended. Similarly, in the seat distribution section, the administrator can configure programs by adding or editing the number of seats for each program. Here, we can set the maximum number of students allowed in each minor program before running the allocation. Once the allocation process is completed, the allocation results will be displayed here. Currently, the preference submission deadline has not ended. The administrator can also close the form early if required. At present, the preference form has a submission deadline of 15 July. So, the administrator can also update this window configuration. This is the deadline management section where the administrator can configure the start date and end date during which the students can fill out the preference form. Now, in the correction modification window, the administrator can define a correction period during which students can update their preferences and submit the corrections. This was the admin view. This is the basic structure of admin dashboard. Now, let's move to the student side and see how it works. The student enters the PRN number and password. Once the student logs into the application, the dashboard displays the number of eligible programs. As you can see here, the student branch is data science and the student is eligible for 6 subjects. Similarly, the student can view the important rules and regulations related to the program. At the same time, the eligible MDM programs section displays the list of subjects for which the student is eligible. In the preference form, the student can fill in the choices or make corrections. For example, if the student wants to select civil as the first preferences, the student can do so. In this preference form, the student must choose 5 different subjects. The student cannot select the same subject twice. If the student wants to change a subject, it can be updated. As you can see, the first preferences has been changed. Once the student is satisfied, the form can be submitted. The form has now been submitted successfully. Here you can see the notification, form submitted successfully. Once the allocation engine runs, the student will be able to view the allocation result in this section, in my allocation page. So currently the preference window is open, so students can submit their forms. The allocation engine will run after the submission window closes, and the results will then be displayed. Similarly, the students can view the important dates. Here the submission window starts on 9 July and ends on 15 July. During this period, the student can update and submit the preference form. Now we are logging out. Let's move back to the admin section. Once the administrator logs in, for this demonstration, I will close the preference window early by clicking close early. Now I will run the allocation. The allocation process is complete. Once the allocation process is complete, now you can see here a total of 73 students have been allocated successfully. In the allocation list, you will get all the list of students who got allocated with their preference as submitted in their form. Similarly, the administrator can download branch-wise reports. For example, if the department is CSE, the administrator can download the CSE report. If the department is AIML, the administrator can download the AIML report as an Excel sheet. The administrator can also download the complete report and the unallocated students report. All the reports can be downloaded as Excel sheets directly from here. For administrative purposes, the Excel sheets can be used. Now, once the allocation is completed from the admin side, when the student logs into the application, the student will be able to view the allocation result, and he can get the report from the allocation page. Now, let's suppose the student logs into the application. Once the student logs in, if the form has been submitted, the form status will be displayed as submitted. In allocation section, the student can see that the form has been submitted and that a specific program has been allotted. In this case, the student has been allotted the first preference. The student can also download the allotment letter and view the acceptance details. Once the allotment letter is downloaded, it can be opened and printed. The printed allotment letter can then be submitted to respective department for administrative purposes. So, this was the demo. I hope you like the demonstration. Thank you for watching. MDM Smart Allocation System and enterprise ready full stack web application. I am open to academic collaborations, pilot implementations and product feedback. Thank you.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना।